Merry Christmas, everybody, and happy Boxing Day. Welcome to the Den. I hope that you've all had a really good Christmas, and now the fun starts, doesn't it? Welcome to South London for this early-ish. Can we call this an early kickoff? I mean, it kind of is, isn't it? For this early kickoff against Millwall. Let's get the obvious one out of the way because I've already had a few messages about it. I'm back. Used to cover Millwall, of course. I did the season covering Millwall in 2023-24. I sat probably in this very seat to watch them bottle the playoffs against Blackburn Rovers on the final day of the season. It was quite painful, that. But overall, a pretty good experience of covering a club I have a strong affinity to. But today's about Ipswich Town, at least from what we're going to be talking about today. So welcome to the Den. Let's talk through team news. Ahead of this big game, it sees Ipswich were third coming to Millwall, who are sixth in the table. This is the second championship game to kick off today. The first one is Birmingham, who are playing a home to Derby. They're kicking off in about 10 minutes. This one kicks off at 1 o'clock. Let's go through, have a look at your Ipswich team. I've got it here because I'm well prepared. I didn't just scramble to do this shortly before going live. The Ipswich Town team, 4-2-3-1. Two changes within this team. So Christian Walton continues in goal. Same back line. Furlong, O'Shea, Kitbray, Davis. It's Kiyusu who keeps a spot in midfield with Azul Matasiwa. So that's Jack Taylor on the bench. Casey McAteer starting right wing with Sindra Vala Egley dropping to the bench. Marcelino Nunez through the middle. Jaden Philogene on the left. And even Azul in for the injured George Hurst. So let's talk a little bit about this, because there's probably a few talking points. And let's start with the bench. Welcome back, Wesley Burns. Wes Burns back in the matchday squad for the first time in it was 11 months yesterday. Would have been. He did his ACL away at Anfield at Liverpool in January. And we haven't seen him play a senior game since. He's been with the under-21s recently. Now he's ready to go. He's back. Welcome back, Wes Burns. Sorely missed. I know that Ipswich have good right-sided options. They've got one starting in McAteer, who's worth £11.5 million. They've got Sindra on the bench, who's costs £17.5 million. But Wes offers something very different. And if he can come back as a similar, ideally the same player as he was before that ACL injury, that would be brilliant. So let's see if he gets any minutes today. Even if he doesn't, just to have him back and around a matchday setting, I think is going to be really, really positive. And then the other bits to talk about, it's going to be really even Azon, isn't it? George Hurst is out. He's got a groin injury. Kieran McKenna asked him about this situation earlier in the week, about the strikers, how Town are going to play it. So Hurst is going to be out for a few weeks, whatever that means. We'll probably say around the end of January. Just kind of speculating. They don't really know a specific, precise timescale on that one yet. And that leaves Ipswich with two options, really. One is going to be Even Azon, who starts today. The other one was Tube Ratpom. And when I did my predicted team, I put Tuber in it. And I'll tell you why. It's because when you look at Millwall's team, as we will do in a minute, it's big boys. You've got a 6'2" centre-back in Callum Taylor. You've got two 6'4" defenders in Tristan Kramer and in Jake Cooper. They're big. And my fear from having watched Azon a bit is that although he's got the physicality, he kind of bounces off players a little bit, and that's a worry for me. As Ipswich run out onto the pitch, we've got a specific shirt here today. I'm just trying to figure out what we've got on the shirts. It's a red kit. Anyway, we've got a training shirt. I'm going to spin around. You can have a look. Here we go. Welcome to the Den, everyone. So, players are out. That is your Ipswich Town team. As I said, that's the concerns that I have with Azon. And why I might have gone with that one, but Kieran's gone with Azon. I think that was always going to be the more likely of the two options. But that's what we've got here today, is that team. All in all, again, it's not deviating too much from what we've seen in recent weeks. You don't want to have this heavy rotation. I know we've got to go to Coventry with a very short turnaround. Saturday tomorrow, blimey. Then you've got Sunday and into the game on Monday away at the league leaders. Another game coming up on Wednesday, New Year's Day, Thursday, Friday. Then another one against Portsmouth on the 4th. It is busy this period. That's where we're at the moment. And then we'll have a look at the Millwall team here. Now, we're having a little debate about what this is going to look like. This is the shape that we've ended up on. It could be a 4-4-2. It could be that Macaulay Langstaff will play in a more advanced role, but it looks like there's Crocombe in goal. It's with Jensen, who's had a bit of an issue. He's out. And Stephen Bender, I know he's had an issue as well, but he's on the bench here. I don't know if he's kind of returning to it, but he's had a few injury issues as well. We've got Kramer, Taylor, Cooper, and Bryan as the back four. As I said, Kramer, Taylor, and Cooper. Kramer and Cooper are 6'4", Taylor 6'2". They are big boys. So not only have you got to think about how you're going to best serve Stephen Azon, but you've also got to factor in set pieces for sure, especially with Jake Cooper. Then into midfield, it's going to be Billy Mitchell playing alongside Alfie Doughty. Doughty's an actual left back, but because of the injury issues around midfield, which includes an ACL injury for ex-Blue Massimo Longo, they've had to draft Doughty into there. Can I have a sip of coffee? Is that rude? I need a sip of coffee, guys. Thank you. And then that front line, I'm, again, not really sure on what this is going to look like when we see it on the pitch. As at the moment, I would have it down as Negley playing on the right, Idemo Marku on the left, and then Langstaff just playing off Ivanovic. That's roughly how I'd see this one. Langstaff's not really kicked on in a Millwall shirt, to be honest. He's obviously known for that incredible run in the National League and in League Two with Notts County. And he's held his own in the Championship. I don't think he's managed to do a great deal more than that one. And let's talk a little bit about Ivanovic as well, because he's someone who really impressed at the back end of last season. Was in the Premier League. Parma in Italy, Serie A, were very interested in him. In the end, he ended up signing a new deal here, but it hasn't really worked out for him, Mihajlo Ivanovic. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can now start to pick up a bit of form, and especially with Millwall around the top six, can they manage to put something together with him? He needs to be the focal point in this team, especially today, and that's because Femi Aziz is out. And that is a really big blow for Millwall. Their left-sider, who has been a key player. He's arguably been their best player so far this season. He signed from Reading in the summer of 2024. Yep, we're going to go with that. 6 goals, 1 assist, makes him their top scorer, but he got a straight red card against Hull City a couple of games ago. Millwall appealed the length of that ban, but they weren't able to get it overturned, so it ends up as a 3-match suspension for the straight red card, and that will see him out. Well, saw him out for the last game, which was a 2-0 defeat to Blackburn Rovers. It will see him out for today, and it will also see him out for their next game before returning on New Year's Day. So the next game after this one will be home to Bristol City, and he will return to Southampton on New Year's Day. So that's currently where they're at. Again, a little bit thin on the bench. There's still some good options in there. You look at defenders, McNamara and Zach Sturge can change the fullback areas. Tiano Ballows has been pretty good since signing for them. Ryan Leonard's returned from injury. He's had a torrid time with injuries recently in general, to be honest, but when he's on it, he's a really good player. Race Bangura Williams is someone who's performed well in the Championship, playing quite young. A couple of names I'm not actually even that familiar with, Jack Howland and Ajay Matthews, both in the team as well. But you compare it to the options that Town have to bring off the bench: Wes Burns, Cinderella Egley, Jack Taylor, Ben Johnson, who I'm sure would get a very warm reception here if he came on, Tube Rackbomb and Jack Clark. You've got a former Golden Boot winner to bring on, and a £15 million winger who's torn up this division before. A lot of exciting options. One player, of course, who isn't here today is Sam Smodics. He is out with an illness. He has not been back since, he was out for the Champions Wednesday game, and he's out for this one as well. I understand that there's kind of comments and things around this and talk around this. The honest answer is I don't know. It's my position to speculate without knowing. I saw him at the training ground in midweek. Look, this isn't an Amari Hutchinson situation where he had half of the Premier League after him. There's not been any links. Exactly like that. So, yeah, that's where we're at with Sam Smodics. Let's take some questions and some comments from here. Kian Early Doors, Upper Town. Michael has asked a couple of questions with this one first. Is Roscoe doing his vlog? Roscoe will be doing, I don't know if we're doing it behind the scenes, but he will be doing game day. I need to see. Should we spot Ross? I'm not sure if I can. I know he's out doing snappy snaps at the moment, so that's where he's at. Big cheer from the end for Wes Burns being announced on the tannoy. Let's keep going. Michael says again, are you a Millwall supporter then? No, I'm a Cambridge United fan for my sins. Look, I have a soft spot for Millwall because obviously you get to know a lot of the people at the club, a lot of the fans, a lot of the players over a period of time. The manager, I just got really well with Gary Rowett, people like that. Am I a fan? No. That's because my heart unfortunately belongs to Cambridge United, with of course the sizable chunk of Ipswich Town as well. Mark Cosgrave, what did you have for Christmas dinner? These are the questions I like being asked. Should we see? Here we go, for everyone who wants it. Christmas scrap. Damn right, there it is. We've got some turkey, some stuffing, Yorkshire pudding, some pigs in blankets, some chestnuts, that's a new one, some potatoes, some sprouts. Yeah, all of those bits and pieces there. It was really good. It was really good, and I've eaten a lot. And when I woke up this morning to drive, I felt very full of food, and I know people will ask, and Millwall have asked for a positive media scramble rating. I was asked about this one about 3 days ago over a text from someone at the club who asked for a positive review. I can't be bribed, but it was quite good. It was quite good. That's egg. That's not like a naan bread or something. Let's move on from food before people start tuning out. Philip Richardson, considering you're playing all reserves, you should win. I understand that point. Look, there's still really good players in there. The back line is really solid. Kramer's probably, for me, from what I've seen of him, a player who should be in the team of the season, in the championship, in my eyes. Cooper and Taylor as a back two have a lot of height. Billy Mitchell I've seen do well in this division before. Mihajlo Ivanovic was supposed to be sold for 10, 15 million pounds over the summer. You've got Joe Bryan, who's won promotion out of this division. You've got Amaku, who's a really exciting prospect still. I understand there's a lot of absences. Like, if you have a look at the team, there's enough absences within Millwall's team to literally have a whole starting lineup of absentees, which is crazy. So yeah, I understand that. We've got a lot of Millwall and Ipswich back to back. Look at this. We've got some up the Ipswich. Yes, Callum. And then Carl's coming with come on, Wall. Come on, you Lions. Mill. Fair enough. I'm glad that we've got some Millwall tuning in here today. Glad to see you guys again. Amanda says, nice to see Burns back on the bench. Yeah, I think it's been really important not to rush him. There's been lots of questions about when's he coming back? When are we going to see Wes? He's brilliant, Wes. But this is a serious injury he's had. An ACL is a big old injury, and at his age as well, you've got to bear in mind, 30 now, this is the prime years of his career. It's difficult to recover from those, especially when you're a player who relies so heavily on pace and things like that. It's difficult, so I can sympathise with that. This feels like the right time. Fingers crossed it will be. Andy says, still say weaknesses are right-hand side. It does feel that way, doesn't it? Where Sindra's a brilliant player. He's capable of excellence. We saw it against Coventry. We've seen it with his passing range. He's a really composed player. He's not the finished article yet. When he is going to be a brilliant player. But he isn't yet. And obviously, we're yet to be convinced by Casey McAteer. Simply put, we haven't seen enough from him. It's okay. We can say that. It's not insulting to him. I don't want to kind of jump on and criticise him too heavily. But to say we've not seen enough from him would be, I think, would be totally fair. I might need to move out of the way here to... back. Sorry. Problem with Millwall, right? And this is a problem that I've feared for a bit doing this video, is that when people need to come through into the aisle, you have to move. There's not enough space. So we've got probably up another 5 or so. So I'm a bit concerned. But we'll see. Might have to wrap this up fairly quickly, guys. Yeah. So in terms of the right side, obviously Casey McAteer's kind of not done enough at the moment. You've got Wes coming back, but is Wes going to be the same player again? not wholly convinced at this juncture, just because of the severity and his age and how important pace is to his game. I really hope it is. Is it an area that Town could look to strengthen in January? I could see it. I think that maybe the best thing in my eyes would be versatility. Can you get, say, a number 10? Because I think Town need a 10, who can also play wide right. Look, we'll talk about players and possible options to come when January transfer window opens, when it gets nearer. Who would I have? There was a player who played here called Romain Esse, played at Millwall. Keep an eye on him. There's nothing that I know about any Town interest, should I say. But if I was doing recruitment, Romain Esse might be one I'd look at. Jason Joseph says, do you think Wes will get some minutes? Depends on the game. If Town are chasing it, do you want to bring him on into an intense situation with 5-10 minutes to go? Probably not. If Town are looking to sit out for a few minutes at the end, would I do that? Yeah, probably. I'd look to make some changes and bring him on. Do we need to move? You're all right. Okay. Need 3 points today, says Jeffrey. We've got the Wes Burns chant here. Wes will tear you apart again. Come on, Wes. Hasn't played since January. Would have started ahead of McAteer. There, I understand that. There we go. Hang on. I'm very sorry, guys. Back in a second. Back again. Yeah, I understand starting Wes, but I think starting Wes would have been throwing him in at the deep end, to be perfectly honest. I think that would have been really difficult to have done that in a situation like this, in a game like this. It's going to be quite tight and physical and gritty, given everything. I think that'll be difficult. We're going to take a couple more questions, and then I'm going to finish this so people can get through. Andy says, how many more games are we going to play Leaf before he gets rested for an injury? Look, last time in the Championship, he basically played the whole season, didn't he? Even in the Premier League, it was the same thing, albeit that Connor Townsend was there. I think that a backup to Leif Davis is going to be crucial, to be honest. I think it's going to be really important. Let's see. I think that that could be a big thing for January with Connor Townsend out. But at the moment, he's getting through it. And every time I've spoken to him, I spoke to him about that Blackburn game where he vomited on the side of the pitch. He slept for 20 minutes that night, I think he told me. So, look, he wants to play all the time. He wants to play every game. I can understand that. He's really annoyed when he's not in the team. It takes a lot for Leaf to be dragged off that pitch, essentially. So if he wants to play, he's one of the best players in this team. He's an instrumental part of it. But definitely some cover will be important. We're going to do some team news chat, because that's the last question we've got on here at the moment. We're going to do a couple more team news bits, and then we're going to finish. So I don't book any more people in. Here we go. Town team from start. 4-2-3-1. Walton in goal. Furlong, O'Shea, Kiprate, and Davis is the back line. Matasira and Kiyusta in the double pivot behind McAteer on the right. Nunez through the middle. Villagine on the left. And Azon up front. Wes Burns returns to the bench. Sindawala Igeli there as well. And then we've also got the Millwall team here. Again, looking like a 4-2-3-1. It could be different. It might be more of a 4-4-2. Crocombe in goal. Kramer, Taylor, Cooper, and Bryan, the big, tall, physical back line. Doughty, the natural left back in midfield with Billy Mitchell. Kimmel Negley on the left. Langstaff, I'm thinking, is going to go in the 10. Idemo Marku on the left. And Vanovic up front. There is your team. We've done 20 minutes. That will do as people start coming through. Thank you for joining me here at the Den. Kickoff's coming up in about 25 minutes, so stay tuned. Our live blog's up and running at the moment. It's free. Don't be subscribed for this one. So if you want to get a taste of what we're offering, Merry Christmas. Here's a look at the live blog. I believe will be the same for the commentary game on Monday night as well. So stay tuned. Enjoy the game. Come follow everything with us, and see you on the other side. Thanks for joining me, guys.